A great round of golf can be a one-off, but sometimes it demonstrates that a player can score significantly better than their current handicap index would suggest. The rules of handicapping include additional adjustments within the handicap calculation when a player submits a score at least 7 strokes below their handicap index at the time the round was played. This is an exceptional score and merits an additional adjustment of -1 to the updated handicap index, or -2 when the score is more than 10 strokes below. The application of this adjustment to all of the scores within the player's scoring record ensures that the exceptional score continues to be reflected within the player's handicap index for at least 20 scores. When the adjustment is considered excessive for a player, the handicap committee can override it, helping ensure the handicap index truly reflects a player's ability.
All right, so exceptional score replaces 10.3, and it basically you're not going to see a 15.5 R anymore, which in theory is going to, the R goes away. The problem with the old tournament reduction was that you could be playing well in the season, not necessarily have the reduction, but then you go travel to Florida and play poorly because it's windy and the conditions didn't have playing conditions calculation. Now all of a sudden you end up with an R on the back. And so now it would have stopped you from essentially being more reflective as to your ability for that time. So now that it goes away, it's going to be, well, and let me get into those details a little bit. I probably didn't need to go into last year so much, but realize that exceptional tournament scores are not going to come back to bite you. All scores, all right, exceptional score reduction is a procedure for dealing with exceptional scores which may indicate the player's true ability. The procedure considers all scores rather than only tournament scores. So here's how it works. All right, you're going to calculate the score differential once the score is posted and playing conditions calculation is applied, if that's appropriate. All right? So you're going to figure out what the differential is first and foremost. Now realize all this is within the software. All right, you're going to calculate that new handicap index. If the score differential is 7 strokes or better than the handicap index from when the round was played, they apply the equitable stroke, or I'm sorry, the exceptional score reduction table to the new handicap index. So here's essentially what it looks like. All right, if this is 7 strokes or greater to 9.9, you get a -1 to your differential from that day. If it's 10, it's -2. Now that is part of your record when you look at your score history. That I'm positive of. All right? Any questions on that?
How long does it last?
It lasts your past 20 scores. Yeah. Yeah, Jim?
So we don't post the tournament scores at all anymore?
Not even in consideration.
Okay.
Not even a consideration.
I have another question. Going
Sure.
back to that, the adjustment. 2 questions. Actually, one is now when players post on their app, and if the score has already been entered, like in the shop, and they post on the app, does it come up a duplicate score? Do they get a notification on their app? I have no idea, but we have it happen all the time.
Yeah, so, yeah, it is. And I haven't seen what the technology, so the question is, if a person posts a score on their app, and then the golf shop or the committee or the EW, whatever the organization is that running an event, posts a score through that software, it just goes right to the system and puts them in. Is there a notification that you're putting a duplicate score in? I actually believe there is in the current system. I think a lot of people bypass it because they don't realize that the golf shop is doing it. And I think we're still going to see some of those things because there could potentially be somebody who would shoot 80 twice in a day, once in your tournaments and once in the afternoon. So you have to have that ability, you know, and that there might be, are you really sure you posted 2 rounds that day? You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, you know, there's going to be more hole-by-hole dynamics to it. You know, in our club meeting earlier in the year, there are some facilities that are running 50% of their rounds through Golf Genius now. So clearly, there's going to be some burden of the administrators to say, hey, we're posting the scores, don't do that. You know, or if they're using the mobile app and posting the scores, those clearly are going to obviously be in there if you go and hit post scores.
But you look at your history and you notice it, we can come to you guys and you can take it off.
That's correct, or back to the facility that
Right.
you know, there are keys to administer all these kind of things. You still cannot control your own score history.
Right.
You have to go to somebody to say, I've duplicated, posted it. Again, this speaks to Linda's comment about trusting. Yeah. Okay. All right, so this is obviously in addition to any reduction caused by score being used in the updated 8 of 20. So the soft cap and the hard cap are still, could still be part of this. So let's get a little deeper into this. All right, so a player posted an exceptional score on 522 right here, so that's the 17th score, which resulted in a -1 adjustment to their previous 20 differentials. All right, so you can essentially see that from score 17 through score 37, they would have a -1 because clearly this record is as of the day that they posted. Now let's get a little deeper into the season. And now all of a sudden the player posted a section exceptional score on 3.5, which resulted in a -1 adjustment. So now it goes to their previous 20, and you can see that these remaining 4 scores from the last exceptional score is a double one, or -2. All right. So note the exceptional score made after the exception. That the scores made after the exceptional score will not get the minus adjustment. All right. So play more golf. You know, you want that off your record. Play more golf. Another reason to play more golf. Okay. So memory of low handicap index. The low handicap index represents the demonstrated ability of a player over a 12-month period preceding the most recent score. So this is a rolling scenario. Most recent score in the player's scoring record, and provides a reference point against which the current handicap index can be compared. All right, so if your low was 25.8, that's what it's going to essentially use a soft and hard cap off of. So there is no limit to the amount in which the player's handicap index can decrease, and you're going to see that a lot with kids, new golfers. They're going to go quick. All right, they're just going to get better. But you're never going to have a handicap index that is greater than 5 higher than what your 12 months low index would be. All right, so your handicap index should never increase more than 5 strokes above your low handicap index over a rolling 12-month period. That's the most it's ever going to go up.
The handicap index should always reflect your demonstrated ability. But even the best players can have a series of bad scores which don't truly reflect their underlying ability. To combat this, there are automatic caps in the handicap formula, ensuring your handicap index won't rise too quickly due to a short run of poor form. Your lowest handicap index within the 12 months prior to your last score acts as a baseline. When your new handicap index calculates at more than 3 strokes higher than your low handicap index, a soft cap applies and reduces the value of any increase over 3.0 by 50%. As a second safeguard, there's a hard cap, limiting any upward movement in your index to a maximum of 5 strokes above your low handicap index. Both caps apply automatically, with no need to carry out calculations yourself. You can play your round confident that whatever happens on the course, your updated handicap index will continue to reflect your ability.
So, soft cap and hard cap will be implemented to limit the extreme upward movement of a player's handicap index within a 12-month period. A soft cap will suppress upward movement by 50% after 0.3 stroke increase over the low handicap index has been reached. That's the soft cap. All right. The hard cap will restrict upward movement to 5 strokes over the low handicap index. All right. The soft cap and hard cap procedures will only start to take effect once you have 20 acceptable scores, which is basically everybody in our systems. All right. Let's do a soft cap example. All right, a player has a low handicap index of 10, and his current 8 of 20 average is 15.2. Subtract the low handicap index from the current 8 of 20 average. So the 15.2 minus the 10 gives you the 5.2. Step 2 is determine how much greater than 3.0 the result is. So 5.2 minus 3.0 equal 2.2. Then subtract 50% of the resulting value from the 8 of 10 average. All right, so it does it automatically. But you're going to have to explain it, potentially. All right, maybe not. Maybe say call Steve, and I'll give you a different cell number. Yeah, but so the handicap index then gets down to 14.1. All right. So that's a soft cap example, and it's in the calculation. All right. So now the hard cap example, 10.0 with the current 8 of 20 average of 17.4. We're subtracting the low handicap from the current 8 of 20 average like we did before. 17.4 minus 10 equals 7.4. Determine how much greater than 3 the result is. It's 4.4. Subtract 50% of the resulting value from the 8 of 10 average. 17.4, 2.2, and that's a 15.2. So thankfully it's in there, right? But because you can only go up 0.5, the 15.2 goes to 15.0. Again, you don't have to, it's in the system. That's high math and conversations. So, yes?
I mean, it also takes into account that it's a rolling 12 months. You could, your index could either be, you're progressively improving, so it's going down, or like you say, maybe you had some physical, broke your arm or leg or something. So all of the pieces are going to be combined. I mean, it's not just A plus B gives you C. You have all these other factors that are all being taken into consideration at one time.
Absolutely. So the question is, how many other factors are taken into account? There's a lot of factors that are taken into account, and as soon as that 12-month window of that score is gone, obviously that goes away, and then you've got other factors that could not require a soft or hard cap.
So if they ask, not only are we looking at their last 20 scores, their 8 better, their low index, you have all these other pieces that could be a stroke difference too. If you look at it and somebody goes, well, last year my index was this, which again, we've had that good example to be able to tell the difference.
Sure.
I'm saying as we get into this and you're updating the index daily, there are multiple implications of why that index is changing.
Right. So
the conditions and
so clearly there's about 7 or 8 things that essentially get back to that handicap that differential score from that day. Obviously, course rating and slope and all that, PCC calculation, clearly, hard cap, soft cap, exceptional scores, all those are part of the calculation. Yeah, exactly.
Updated daily, your handicap index is designed to give you a responsive, real-time reflection of your demonstrated golfing ability. By submitting scores as soon as possible after your round, you ensure your score is incorporated into the course's daily playing conditions calculation. Even when playing away from your home club, you should submit your score promptly. If you are unable to submit your score on the day of play, the playing conditions calculation for the day will still be applied when your score is submitted. If playing another round before your handicap index is updated, the handicap committee can decide which playing handicap will be used for that round. However many times you play today, and wherever you play your round, your updated handicap index should be ready for you to use tomorrow, or soon after, giving you the strokes you need to enjoy your game.
Okay. So, end of the day, as we've talked about, obviously submit their scores after the round, ideally before midnight, clearly, for the PCC calculation. It may also be adjusted by the handicap committee, and we'll get into the committee responsibilities here in just a second. Any questions on daily revisions, processes, procedures? Clearly, yeah, go ahead.
Do you have any idea what the software is going to look like the Gen software that we're using now? Or
Yeah, I have, okay, so the question is, what's the software going to look like? It's going to be a much cleaner screen, I know that. I've already seen that. As far as what your score record's going to look like, other than the soft cap and the hard, there was one question that I had that I didn't know the answer of as far as what you're going to see it. Oh, the PCC calculation. I don't know if the PCC calculation is going to be part of your score history. It might, but definitely your hard cap, your soft cap, and your exceptional score reduction dynamic.